Someday you're gonna realize what you lost in me. No way you're gonna keep me insecure. When the sun comes up, but your lights go out, who's gonna figure it out?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lyrically Lydia. As you know, it is a show made for musicians by a musician, a show made for music lovers by a music lover. So today, what are we getting into, you might ask? What we're getting into is something lighthearted, goofy, crazy, ratchet, crusty. You're gonna like it, I hope. Basically, I want to share with you the top 3 weirdest experiences I've ever had as a musician. I do want to start off by just giving you a bit of a disclaimer. If any of you are a bit triggered by the subject of minor sexual aggression, or kind of the topic of consent when it comes to, sexual interactions and things like that, you might want to skip past a part of this video, but I will detail that down below with timestamps. But just to let you know, it's gonna be a totally lighthearted video. All of these things that happened to me, I was like totally safe and I was totally in control of everything, so it's just gonna be funny. But just in case you have a little bit of a trauma from something that happened to you in your past, I want to be very forthright about the fact that I am going to talk about something that might not be so nice. So anyways, without any more waiting, let's get into the 3 craziest things that have happened to me as a musician, and let's say within the past 5 years, so that we keep it fresh and funky.
And this time, we're gonna get funky.
So the first thing I want to talk about, and it's probably the least fun, least interesting, so let's get that one out of the way. Number 1. When I told you guys that I lived in Rome, right? So I lived in Rome. I moved there in 2015, and when I first started out, the scene in Rome is very much, when you're just starting out, like you're playing in a lot of like live clubs, it's very much like that in general. You play a lot of lives, you play covers a lot, you can also play originals, but it depends on the venue. So I was playing in either small band situations, or I was playing in duos or trios. So I played this club with a friend of mine who is a pianist. She's a great pianist. So we started to play. The day was a bit gloomy. It was a bit, gross out. It was a bit yuck outside. So we start playing and everything. We're playing for like 2 hours. There weren't a ton of people in there, but there was still like a good crowd of folks. They were clapping, they were listening, they were, doing a little 2-step. So then we reached kind of the end of the night, and we had played for like 2 hours and something, and we went to get our cash.
$1.
So we go up to get the cash, and homeboy was like,
"Oh, because it rained today, we're not gonna pay you."
So now let me just say this.
When do it becomes
in the States, when I used to work in situations with bands or things, we always had a contract. The contract would state when the payment was due, the amount that was due. Sometimes we would also have like a deposit that you have to pay, especially if it was for like a bigger show. We would get a deposit before, and then we would get paid the remainder by a specific date in a specific way. Well, sometimes when you play these smaller venues in Italy, you do not get a contract. So that was shocking to me, because I did ask for that, and people were really not happy about me asking for that, but for other reasons that I will not say on YouTube. So at that point, I didn't really speak Italian that well. I understood everything, but I couldn't really like get in people's faces and be like. So I was just standing there, and I looked at my partner, and I was like, "Sis, what we gonna do with him?" So she and he start having this argument, like back and forth, like, and I was like, right, get our money, girl, get our money. In the end, he said, all right, well, to you, and I'll never see y'all again. And also, I'm not gonna pay you. And we were like, so yeah, that was crazy. So that was number one. Rude. Don't do that to nobody. If you see this, if you don't have the money to pay, you cannot have champagne taste, darling, on a beer budget. How tragic. So, okay, let's get into number two.
Ew.
Now this one is crazy. So this is another one. This is the one that if you, okay, click off now and then like skip ahead. I'll tell you where to skip ahead if you're really strange about like creepy dudes. This one is all about a creepy dude. Let's call it the Tuscan disaster. That's what we're gonna call it. Okay, so basically I got written on Facebook by this producer who was, you know, he was doing quite well. He'd worked with some really good artists. I'd seen his work and he had a lot of views on YouTube and Spotify and everything, and listens and everything. So I was asked to write a song for one of his productions and sing it in the studio, to go to this town in Tuscany and sing. So I said, okay, sure, yeah. And he was paying nicely. So I was like, that cash though. He told me this like maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks before, and I was waiting for him to send me the track. So it's the day of that, the day I'm supposed to be traveling, and I still haven't received the track. So I was like, I mean, the session is like tomorrow, but like whatever, who cares? So I'm on the train. He sends me the track while I'm on the train, like less than an hour before I'm supposed to arrive. So I was like, okay. So I listened to the track. I'm writing really fast, something, you know, whatever, scribbling down, doodling, whatever I can. It came out pretty cute. You know, I meet him and he was nice, I guess. I didn't really speak a lot of Italian at that point. I could understand most things. But then when he spoke, it was really difficult for me to understand because he had this very Tuscan accent and I was used to hearing a Roman accent. So we had some communication issues. He told me that I was gonna have my own apartment, you know, my own space to like spread out and do my thing, because he was gonna rent it. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, why did you not get like the information? Listen, y'all, I was young and I was dumb, okay? I was young and I was stupid. So we get to the house and his mom is there, and I was like, show mama house? And he was like, yeah, as my friend Fred says, yeah. I go upstairs, I'm in this room, and there's a sofa, and then there's like a little like bedroom off to the side, and like this whole like living room space. It's kind of like a suite in this villa. So like it starts getting late. We're like chatting a little bit, talking about the session we're gonna do tomorrow, how I'm gonna record and everything. And then when it got late, I was like, don't you got some? You ain't got no you ain't got nowhere you need to be, son. You ain't got no you gotta be, you gonna have to, you gonna be up in here, you gonna go home? Why you still here? And he was like,
Oh, yeah. So you take the couch, and I'll take the bed.
and I was like, well, this was crazy. So I was like, oh, this is nuts. If it were in English, I would have obviously been like, that's not gonna work. You're gonna have to get me a hotel. But see it as I didn't have any means of transportation, and I was all the way out in the countryside, and I didn't know how to go on Booking and like find a place, because I was like, I don't really know where I'm trying to go. I don't even know. Oh, child, it was a hot, ratchet, crusty mess. He goes to sleep in that bed. I thought he was asleep, and then I'm trying to sleep on this couch. First of all, there's cat dander everywhere. It's cat hair. It's nasty. It stank. Like, it was like, the crusty crab is the pizza for you and me. That's how crusty it was. I'm trying to sleep. I'm allergic to cats. I'm itching. I got hives, nose, eyes, running, doing all of that. Homeboy has the nerve to be like, you uncomfortable on the couch? You want to sleep in the bed? I was like, I don't want to put you out like that, sir. Like, let's just get through the night. I'm just trying to sleep. He's like, no, come on. You can get the bed. So I go to the bed. Long story short, homeboy don't let me sleep. Keeps asking me, like, and I'm like, What? Talking about.
You want to do something?
No, I don't want to do nothing. Who are you? Get out of here. I was so upset. Did not sleep a wink. Did not sleep at all. Was so freaked out. Like, I was just like trying to see if he was trying to come through. Like, I was like, next day we go to the studio. We up in the studio. So then I went in the booth to record. And like the lead producer was super nice to me. He was like, "Oh, you have such a nice voice. You sound a little bit like Toni Braxton." I was like, "That's my girl." So I'm singing. And other homeboy was like, "Oh, you can't sing. You can't really sing. You're not that good of a singer. The other girl I work with was much better." So I was just like, "Are we really gonna play these reindeer games, son? You wanna get funky?"
We're gonna get funky.
So I was like, all right, I can't sing, whatever. Do you want me to still do this record? You still want me to cut this record or not? Of course I didn't say that because I didn't speak Italian at that moment. But it's okay because now I will keep it real funky with him. But can't go back in time. If I could turn back time. So we leave the studio. The dude who was the engineer on the project was mad nice. He was like, good job, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. So then we leave and like he's taking me back to the train station to get my stuff and go to the train station. So he owed me a specific amount of money and then he tried to short me a considerable amount of money from that money that he owed me. Even after the short, it was still a good amount of money, but it was like after all you put me through. So I was just like, you know what, go ahead and short me that money. He was like, I hope this is okay. I was like, well.
Next question. See ya.
He drops me off, get on the train. I was donezo. Never saw him again. It was naive of me. Never got in that situation again, honey. Oh my gosh. Moving on to the third one, which is hilarious. We gonna call it, I did not go to Romania.
Period!
Okay. So, a woman contacted me. I don't remember if it was via Facebook or what. I can't remember how she contacted, on Instagram or Facebook or something. And she was asking me to participate in this contest in Romania. It's a singing contest. So basically the woman said that I was already going to be pre-selected to be in the top 5. I said, okay, let me just see what she's talking about. So it was supposed to be like a week long. I go and I do some like master classes. I should teach a master class to some of the people there. Then I would attend other people's master classes, and then I would have like the 2 days or 3 days of contest. I asked her to send me my plane tickets and all the information. So when she's sending me information, she's like, okay, the prize that you're probably gonna win is 5,000 euros. So out of that, me and my husband, because we are putting you on, should get 2,500 of that 5,000. I was like, that sound crazy. But at the same time, this cash, though. When it starts coming down to it, like, homegirl is like, okay, so I haven't booked the flight yet. I was like, could you please book the flight? She didn't do it yet. She was like asking all these questions, whatever. Then the dates changed. Now, this is like a festival. It's like a song festival, okay? And it was a song festival that was supposed to last an entire week, and it was supposed to be broadcasted on TV nationally. Now, riddle me this. How can you change the dates? Like, it was like, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 weeks before. No, lies. It was a month. This was a month before. But my question is, how do you change an event that's been planned for TV like a year in advance? At the end, you just change it all of a sudden. So I was like, listen, y'all, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, y'all keep changing things around. You haven't sent me my plane tickets yet. Things seem a little bit strange and scandalous. The whole operation just seemed real fishy. Like, it just smelled like it was poisson. I'm gonna have to pull myself out before you spend any money on me, before you get my hotel. You still didn't. That time I asked for the hotel though. Oh, baby, I asked, and they hadn't even given me the information. So I was like, all right, this is sounding a little funky. I'm not gonna do it. You know, this lady went berserkers. At first, she started sending me all these nice messages like, oh, but you're so great, and like everything, and like we just want to have you there, and like I'm a scat man. So I said, sis, no. So basically what happened was she starts threatening me. Her and her husband start sending me these nasty messages, these nasty threatening messages. They call me incessantly, like all day, every day. Like this lasted like a week, that they were just calling me all day, every day. And I had to block them. I blocked them so many times. I blocked them on all my social media. I blocked them on every possible way they could communicate with me. Do you know that they still wrote to my email via a cousin of her husband or his brother or something in Naples, and like posing as a lawyer, saying like if I didn't come up with the $2,500 that I owed them for forfeiting the contest, that they were gonna call the police on me and that I was gonna possibly face deportation, like all this crazy stuff. I was like, first of all, illegal where? Second of all, lawyer who? Lawyer where? Which lawyer? You are not a lawyer, sir. Where's your letterhead? You misspelled things in this message. So I was like, okay, y'all want to be ratchet. My mommy, being a federal judge, I said, Judge, mommy, baby. I said, can you have a look at this craziness and tell me if there's anything they can do? She was like, oh, girl, put that in your garbage can. They can't do nothing with that. And she was like, you want me to send them a crazy message? So my mom and I sent them a crazy email to get them to stop. Long story short, they stopped after a while. Do you know, a whole, I think it was 2 years ago this happened. You want to know? This woman tried to find me on my Lyrically Lydia Instagram page after I done blocked her from all of my pages. She been lost her mind. So basically, it's just like, I just have to sit and really just be like, I've also had a bunch of dope experiences, which I'll do another video on. I just don't want to be braggadocious, so many nice things, and all these things were so cool. Anyway, y'all, I don't know. I just wanted to share with you some of these weird and crazy and ridiculous experiences that I've had in my musical career. How about we do this? Interact with me, you guys. Tell me down below. Have you had anything weird happen to you? If you guys want to hear any topics, want me to discuss any topics in particular, anything in particular, you just let me know. You send me an email. You write me down in the comments below, and I will do that for you. I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Lyrically Lydia. I hope you had a really good time. I hope that you laughed a little bit at my misfortune. It's always better to laugh at somebody else's misfortune than to have it yourself. So I will see y'all next week. As I said in my very first video, never ever apologize for being who you are. Never apologize for that. Don't do it. I ain't doing it. Have I ever done it? Have not.
Excuse-moi, je t'entends pas.